Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter. Hello there everybody, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to a brand new instalment of the Now Review, and we're going to try and actually review something on its release day by taking a look at the most recent Now spin-off, which is Now 100 Hits 80s No.1's. And as you can see from this cover art here, what a cracking cover this is. I love the mix of the purple and the blue hues, particularly on the 80s part of the logo. The No.1's is sort of scrolled on in that, I guess what was an 80s style. There was a lot of like scribbled logos, should I say, but the gold discs I also like as well, just to show how many bangers there were in the 1980s, which is absolutely true. There were so many bangers back in the day. And as you can see, it says 5 CD plus 80s pop quiz. I'm interested to see what that is, but before we take off the shrink wrap, let's just turn this around. There we go. So you can see there's 100 tracks on there. Obviously, there should be a more detailed version of that track list when we open this up, but there is your 100 tracks. So let's get the shrink wrap off and have a look inside. Okay, so here is the album, and we will open it up. Ooh, there we go. And it's in this nice box. It's not in just the foldy over ones. Now that's what I call 80s, the quiz. We will come to the quiz later. Oh, okay, so they're all in their own individual packets. This is a new idea for Now Design. No idea, because normally they're either fold over or fat box, but no, they've got their own individual cases here, which is it's a neat idea. I'll give them that. So the rest have just fallen out, but hey, here's CD 1, and let's have a look at this track list, shall we? Kicking off with George Michael, Careless Whisper, great song. Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, of course. Survivor with Eye of the Tiger, Billy Joel, Uptown Girl, Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen, Soft Cell with Tainted Love. I won't go through all of them, there's 100 tracks, I'll be here forever, but just look at the lineup here. There's some absolutely amazing tracks. Never Gonna Give You Up, Rick Astley, of course that's on here. Gotta have the Rickroll song on there. 99 Red Balloons, that's a great song to put on there actually. Brass in Pocket by the Pretenders, you don't see that often on these compilations. And this one finishes off with Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. So that is CD 1. That's a pretty good selection to kick things off. Before we move on to CD 2, as these are in their own individual sleeves, let's have a look at the disc. Ah, there you go. So we got a yellow disc with the pink writing. That's quite nice, actually. Yeah, the colours were, it almost looks like a big, bright, colourful sweetie, doesn't it? Yep, fan of that disc, CD 1. Nice job. Moving on now to CD number 2. You've got Woman by John Lennon, quite fitting as there's a lot of John Lennon 80th birthday celebrations going on at the minute. Benny King, Stand By Me. That's a technical cheat because, of course, the song originally came out in the 1960s, but it was number 1 again thanks to the film Stand By Me. There's a lot of good songs on this one as well. Tiffany, yes, good to see some Tiffany representation. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax, excellent. The Final Countdown by Europe, you got some Jam, the Jam on there as well. Blondie, Communards, Billy Ocean, some great songs on here. And finishing off with Shakin' Stevens and This Old House. So that is CD 2. Again, really nice track list there. They're really going for a good mix of not just like pop stuff. You got like stuff from the Jam is on there as well. New Romantic era stuff. What is this one? Is it the same? Oh, are they all going to be the same? Yep, yellow disc with pink font. Okay, that's fine. They might be different. I'll check them all anyway. CD number 3 now. I do really like this gold disc design. I forgot to mention on the cover, it's got that sort of 80s space grid sort of thing. That was so classic back in the day. Love these purple hues as well. But yeah, CD 3. Let's have a look what we have on this one, shall we? Kicking off with UB40 and Christy Hinder. Oh, I Got You, Babe. Great song, yeah. Aswad, Culture Club, Lisa Stanisfield. Great song all around the world. Some more Whitney on there. Now, as I'm a big fan, I have noticed so far we're not seeing any Pet Shop Boys, which is a bit disappointing. They had 4 No.1's that they could pick, and they might be on later in the album, but there's some great songs. Pipes of Peace by Paul McCartney is a cracking song in my opinion. And this one finishes with Johnny Logan and What's Another Year, which is great. That was his Eurovision winning song in 1980. So nice to see some Eurovision representation on here. I wonder if his other winning hit, Hold Me Now from 1987, will be on here. But I'll just zoom back out and we will take a look and see if this disc is any different to the previous two. At this point, I don't think it will be. I think they're all going to be the same. Yeah, they're all going to be the same, aren't they? I will check them just to be sure. Right, moving on to CD number 4, that gold disc design. And we'll put you there, and we will have a look at what is on CD 4, shall we? China in Your Hand by Tapao is an excellent song. Jealous Guy, the Roxy Music version, of course. Boy George, Musical Youth, Soul to Soul. Some more Blondie. Kylie Minogue, of course, she's going to be on here. And Jason Donovan right underneath her. That's a fitting pairing, isn't it? I wondered if they put their duet on here, which was especially for you, because that was number 1, but alas, it is not. Here, Happy Talk. Oh, I can't believe they put that on here. And this one finishes with the Goombay Dance Band and 7 Tears. Again, another great list of tracks on there. Caravan of Love by the House Martins is also on here, which ironically was also on Now That's What I Call Forgotten 80s. So not so forgotten if it was a number 1 and you put it on here, is it? So no Pet Shop Boys still, never mind. Let's zoom out. And what's the betting that this disc is going to be exactly the same as all the rest? Pretty damn high, I think. Let's see. Yeah, they're all going to be the same. Right, last but not least, we have CD5, and let's have a look what we have on this one, the final 20 tracks of this release. You have Madness. I thought that said Madonna. That I have noticed that there's no Madonna. I mean, with the artists that can't be here, it's usually a rights issue. There's probably a reason why she's not on here. Kelly Marie, Feels Like I'm in Love. Oh, Especially For You is on here. Track number 3, excellent. I do love that song. I know it's a bit cheesy, but Irene Calm with Fame, Mel and Kim with Respectable, great song. Yaz and the Plastic Population, this is more the end of the 80s now. Black Box with Ride On Time, the biggest dance song of 1989 and a cracking song to boot as well. The Sun Always Shines on TV by a-ha, yes, that did get to number 1 here. I don't think Take On Me got to number 1, I don't think that was on here. But yes, that's one of my favourite songs ever, The Sun Always Shines on TV, really happy that's on here. And you are finishing with Sister Sledge and Frankie. Not my favourite Sister Sledge song, but a good one nonetheless. We'll zoom out for the final time, and just to be completionist, we will see if the disc design is any different, but I don't think it will be. Yeah, it's the same. So those are the 5 CDs as part of this release. Now, now that's what I call 80s the quiz. It's probably why they've bumped it up in this box. Ooh, 80s shapes. Who doesn't love shapes? Test your retro music powers with our Now That's What I Call 80s Top 100 Pop Quiz. Alright, well, we'll have a look at a few of them, shall we? How many red balloons did Nina sing about on her #1 smash in 1983? That would be 99. Name the duo who were in the pop group Wham. George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley. Which Human League singer teamed up with Giorgio Moroder for the UK number 3 hit Together in Electric Dreams? Oh, what's his name? It's Philip something, isn't it? I can't actually remember. Okay, you got me. Kajagoogoo had 2 hits on Now 1, the number 1 smash hit Too Shy, and the other single, wasn't it The Big Apple? Was it The Big Apple? Could be wrong. And which Scottish comedian had a hit under the name The Commentators with No 19 Not Out? Oh, that's on Now 5, and I don't know it. And who was the female singer that teamed up with UB40 for their Sonny and Cher cover? I Got You, Babe. That was Christy Rindo or Rat, I can't remember. But yeah, so, okay, you got 100 questions in here, and there are all your answers as well. Do you know what? That's a neat little idea. I'll follow them on all the social medias, of course. That is a neat little idea. I'm not going to lie to you. I do actually like the idea of a pop quiz. You know, if you've got this on at a party or a gathering, then you can just, like, test your friends' knowledge and stuff. I thought this was going to be tacky. I actually really like this. It's a nice little design. So all of these will now go back in the box, and then we will close the box. And do you know what? I will say I actually love this style of box for releasing. I love this style of box for releasing. They did it with Now That's What I Call Now some years ago, and I just think it's really, really good. It's not as flimsy as the other packaging, and it just feels a bit more sturdy being in a box like this. Overall, I think this is a really fun release for Now. I mean, obviously, we've had tons of Now 80s albums before, whether it's just Now That's What I Call 80s, we've had 100 Hits 80s, we've had 100 Hits Forgotten 80s, and even more Forgotten 80s, so the fact they decided to release another 80s album may have surprised many, like, do we really need another 80s album? In terms of track variation, if you look into it, there might be 1 or 2 tracks that appear on here that maybe didn't appear on those previous 80s albums. A lot of it does overlap, because obviously this is number 1, so you're using the big hitters here. But what I really love this one is the inclusion of the pop quiz and the way that the discs are stored in that individual packaging. I think that's really neat, and it actually really works for the series. I can only hope if they're going to release more 100 hits in the 5 CD format that they will release it in these box styles rather than the flip open cases. I get they're probably more expensive for Now to produce, but that's just a personal thing as a valued customer. Speaking about being a customer, now the price, I got this from HMV and it was labelled as $14.99. I'm guessing that's because it's in this box, it's got the quiz, etc. However, I think I got lucky because when I checked my receipt, I'd only been charged £9.99. So I saved a fiver, but I trust that won't happen much else anywhere. So I got lucky, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit more expensive because it's in this box, because it's got the pop quiz. But you know what, guys? I'm going to be honest. If you like your 80s music, especially like the really big hit 80s music, then you will like this. This is definitely a valued release. I'm sure if you wait maybe a few months, it will go down in price. It might not go down to the 2 for 15 range straight away because it's a bit bulkier, but you'll be able to get it at a cheaper price eventually. But that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like on this video and leave your comments down below. Were you picking up Now 100 It's 80s No.1's today? Or are you going to pick it up, or are you just going to download it? What are your thoughts on this album, and do you like the pop quiz? Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. We'll have more Now content coming soon. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Now videos. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time. Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, Tobos Krotz, and Polsky Liz, our AMTV staff members.